Welcome to the Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta, the largest hot air balloon festival in the world. Oh, the places you'll go! Welcome to Book Days.
The book of the day is Oh, the Places You'll Go by Dr. Seuss. Such a classic. I'm so excited to share with you the Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta. Let's take a look.
I am so excited to be here at the International Hot Air Balloon Festival in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and I'm here with pilot Tristan McLean. Thank you so much for being here today.
Of course, it's my pleasure.
I am so excited to be here on the field at the Balloon Fiesta. And can you just start with explaining the structure of the hot air balloon for the kids?
Absolutely. So first you'll see down here we have our wicker basket. This is what holds all the passengers as well as the fuel. So as you'll see over here, we have propane tanks. If you want to come and take a look inside, these are the propane tanks and that's the fuel that is going to help us fly. Then you'll look up here and these are going to be the burners. That's what provides the heat inside of the balloon, which now you're going to be able to see, and that's what creates the rise. As you know, with heat it always rises. So we're going to do a quick burn to show you what it looks like with the flames. So as that heat rises, from the time I hit that burner, it's going to take 7 seconds to reach the top. And the way we let the air out is we have a crown on top, which basically is fabric pressing against the other fabric with some ropes on top. And when I pull it, it kind of releases down, and that's what's going to let all of the air out.
That's a really interesting point, because I think you think of hot air balloons as just being a single unit, and then the top comes off is really interesting. Now, how many years does it take to become a pilot for hot air balloons?
It depends on how motivated you are. It can take anywhere from 3 weeks to 2-3 years. It just depends on if you're ready to go, or, you know, a lot of balloon pilots, it's not their main job and it's a hobby for them, just as airplane pilots and other people that have hobbies. So as they're moving forward, it depends on how motivated they are, but really you can get it done pretty quickly as long as you're motivated and you're ready to learn.
And how did you get to be a hot air balloon pilot?
Absolutely, that's a great question. I actually have family that's involved. They were doing it for many, many years before I was alive, and I got to fly when I was younger, right around the age of about 12, 13, and I just fell in love with it, so I started to crew for a few years, and after I was done crewing, I started to love it so much that I found a way to learn and become a pilot, and I bought my first hot air balloon at the age of 18, and got my license, and now I'm flying commercially for sponsored balloons.
So which begs the question, how much does a hot air balloon cost?
Oh, that's a great question. So it's anywhere from right around $5,000 to $10,000 all the way up to, if you can see Miss Arabelle, which is the big cow, she can cost upwards of $250,000 to $300,000. So those big special shapes cost a lot.
That is insane!
Yeah. So.
And you had mentioned earlier how you land, because hot air balloons are a little bit different than planes on runways. There's time, they're scheduled, they're going to land at a certain place, certain time. Hot air balloons are not like that. Can you tell me about that?
Absolutely. So hot air balloons are a little bit different because we rely on Mother Nature. So there's always a chance, just as we have meteorologists, we rely on the meteorologists with weather predictions in order to associate where we might go. That can all change in flight. That can be totally different than what we saw. So hot air balloon pilots are taught to think on their feet. They're taught to be ready, be prepared, be forward thinkers, so we're always ready. But when I get into the sky, I'm ready to check out what's up there and see what's actually happening. And from there, I decide where I'm going to go and use it. But even sometimes you can have different layers that are going different directions. And in Albuquerque, we have a unique thing called the Albuquerque box, which is one layer going south, one layer going north, or vice versa. And basically, we can go south, then go up into the other layer, and then go north and come back down and go south again and go right back to where we started.
And can you kind of describe how you're keeping the balloon up right now?
Absolutely. So just like when we fly, heat rises. So basically what we're doing right now is we're keeping it weighted down, and I'm putting just enough heat inside of the balloon in order to keep it on the ground but keep the balloon still up. So right here I have two different valves. This is called the blast valve, which this one runs this propane all the way through those coils to turn it into liquid, which then shoots out, and that's going to be a much more efficient burn. It's going to be a lot hotter. Then I have this burner right here, which is called the whisper burner, which a long time ago was created because it's a lot less loud. And generally, if we're flying over horses, we don't want to spook them. So they have the whisper burner, which shoots raw propane out. It doesn't heat it up into liquid. It's just literally propane. So I'm going to do it real quick for you. It's a much brighter flame. So what I will do is once we start glowing tonight and the sun goes down, I'll start using that burner and the balloon will glow beautiful.
Well, I cannot wait to see that. There's so much for being here today and for sharing all your knowledge with the kids. It's going to be a great event.
Thank you and enjoy.
Thank you.
The launch from Balloon Fiesta Park begins at 7 a.m. Hundreds of balloonists gather to launch throughout the morning, canvassing the sky with an epic array of color.
We just finished the morning launch here at Balloon Fiesta, and now I'm joined by Launch Director Kat Perea. I am so excited for her to share how this whole event happens?
Hi, yeah, so launch directors, we're also called zebras because we wear black and white outfits. We are the stars of the show. I guess
Yes.
people want to come see the balloons too, but it's really, our job here is to make sure that we provide a safe, coordinated launch for all of the balloons in the area. We have about 550 balloons on any given day, and so it takes about 60 of us to coordinate a safe airspace for all of these balloons. We wear the black and white because in the crowds of huge people, we're really easy to spot. And some of us take it a little extra with our tutus and our ears looking cute. So we come out here to have fun as well as provide a safe environment for the balloonists and the spectators.
So what does that look like? I heard some whistles on the launch as the balloons were launching. I know you have a headset. How do you signal to the balloonists when they can go up?
Great question. What we do is we go up to the balloonists and we talk to our pilot, let them know we're their launch director. We give them our signals. Our thumbs up means that they're clear to launch. We usually give them a whistle chirp with that as well. Thumbs down obviously means it's not safe to launch just yet. And then sometimes we'll point out their overhead traffic if another balloon is coming into their airspace. We whistle so that our fellow zebras know that we're launching a balloon next to them, and also said that the pilot, some of them are a little bit older, they don't see as well. They might not be able to see that thumbs up, they can hear us real well, okay?
Is there anything else you'd like to share with the kids about being a zebra here at Balloon Fiesta?
Being a zebra is so much fun. It's a ton of work, but we have lots of fun. I highly recommend if you get to check out a hot air balloon that you do. It is a wonderful, wonderful form of aviation, and check them out as soon as you can.
And Kat, how do you become a zebra? Is there any special schooling, anything that you have to do to become one?
So we actually have a 2-year program where we have ZITs, which are zebras in training. So you have to have some crew experience on a hot air balloon, and then we bring you in and we teach you how to do the safe coordinated launch, watch you launch with fellow zebras. I am one of the trainers. I've been doing this for 12 years now.
Wow.
I got into it because of my dad. So it's a family event for me. It's a family event for most people. So yeah, absolutely. If you're crewing on a balloon and you want to come out and see us when you're 18, please do so. We are going to need the help.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for being here today and for helping put on this amazing event.
Thank you, Kassi.
So I am now joined by Kevin Geringer, who has been on the chase crew for some of the balloon teams here at Fiesta. Kevin, can you just elaborate what is it to be on the chase crew, and then just your experiences that you've had?
It's kind of organized chaos, really. You watch the balloon for a little while, and then you'll take your head down, and we ride in the back of this truck right here. It's a 1941 fire truck, and it's almost like the Beverly Hillbillies, and you kind of just pile in there and try and keep your legs in so that you're safe and everything, and then we'll go out onto the desert and go tromping through some of the cactus and stuff like that, and you got to wear jeans so you don't get poked by any of the cactus. And then we watch the balloon, and you'll stick your head down sometimes, and the balloon disappears and we don't know where it went, so everybody's searching for it, and we kind of drive around Albuquerque and try and find it, and once we find it we bring it down, and that's organized chaos. It's just organized chaos. It's so much fun. It's a lot of fun. Lose them. So yeah, when it's a chase crew, we definitely chase. We're running around town trying to find out where they're going to land, or where we think they're going to land, and find that spot, and then we park the truck and try and take the balloon down without messing it up. It's an interesting experience.
What are some of the more memorable things that have happened on your time as chase crew?
We landed in the Indian reservation, which is right over here, and it was in the middle of one of the gentleman's farm fields, and it was kind of desert, but it was definitely a farm field, and the way that we had to go into the field was really interesting. did a lot of bouncing around in the truck, and it got maybe a little bit dangerous for a second, but it was a lot of fun. And we finally found out where the balloon landed, and he had already tipped over and laid the balloon out on the desert floor, kind of like that, and we had to put it all together. But we couldn't take the truck to where the balloon was, and the basket is really, really heavy. So a lot of men went over there and picked it up, and we walked it all the way out of that farmer's land. Yeah, it was that was one of the, we had to go over a barbed wire fence, which was really interesting, and it was interesting. That was an interesting flight. And then another real memorable one, and this is the last one I'll tell you about because I'll get long-winded, but my wife and I got married here. And we got married in front of the balloon by the president of the Fiesta, and then we took off with the pilot, and it was the longest. I've been doing this for about 15, maybe 20 years, and it was the longest, most calm flight that we were. It was so beautiful.
That's so
it was so great, and the pilot brought us down, and it was like we were on a cloud. It just scooted right on into the grass, and our crew members were there, and they caught us, and we didn't even feel a jolt. I mean, wow. Today we saw a couple that hit the ground kind of hard, but we didn't feel anything, and that was our wedding. So
I think the thing I love about learning from the chase crew and the pilot, that it's really a team effort.
Totally.
And you think sometimes of hot air balloons as being, just the pilot, they go up, they're just a one person or two person team. But when you really expand it, and learning from you about the chase crew, that it takes a lot of teamwork to get these balloons off the ground and even back to the field or back in their case, however it happens. So I love that ballooning is really a team sport.
Yeah, definitely, by far.
Well, thank you so much for being here today.
Thanks for having me. Have a good one, guys.
So it has been an adventure here at Balloon Fiesta here in Albuquerque, New Mexico. And I'm here right now with Tanner Modisette, crew chief of the Exxon balloon at the Fiesta. Tanner, thank you so much for being here today.
Of course, it's my pleasure.
So can you describe exactly what being the crew chief for a hot air balloon is? We heard from Tristan earlier about what it's like to be a pilot, but what does a crew chief do?
So you have most of the ground responsibilities. So setting up the balloon, going through all those checklists, making sure everything's prepped and ready to go for a safe flight. Most of the time Tristan can even walk away and go talk to other people, and I can have everything set up, ready to go through a burner check, all that good stuff. So when he comes over and he's ready to fly, everything's perfect. We don't have to worry about anything.
Oh, wow. So you're kind of like the personal assistant to the pilot?
Basically, yes. Yeah.
That's very cool.
Yep, right-hand man. I can do it all for him.
Wow. So you can literally go from start to finish and him just walk out on the field and be ready.
Yep. And then I'm actually a student pilot myself, so I could stand the balloon up for him, per se, if we wanted to.
Wow.
So we could lay it all out on the ground, get the basket hooked up to the envelope and everything, and then put the cold air into it, inflate it, and then I could get behind the burners and actually stand the balloon up so it's ready, and he could just walk over, get in the basket, and off they go.
That's a really interesting point, the cold air. Now, we saw that right before glow night, y'all inflating the balloon. So can you speak a little bit about that? The cold air to inflate the balloon at the beginning, and then you guys use the propane, the hot air, to actually take off.
Right. So when we lay the balloon out, we spread it out and it's nice and flat. So what we do is we take a big fan and it pushes the air into it to kind of inflate it and open the throat. Because what you want to do is, you'll see too how we stand there and hold it open as he shoots the flame into it. If we didn't cold inflate it, there would be nowhere for that heat to go, and we could potentially burn the balloon. So that's why we kind of get it bulbous, put some air into it, and then once you put the heat into it, that also helps, expand it and fill it up. But you got to help it a little bit to start. Before they had fans, they used to flap it, extend at the end.
Oh my word, that would be so much work.
Oh yeah, we've come a long way in ballooning. It gets better and better too.
So as far as crew chief in the air, once you guys get airborne, what does that look like?
So once he takes off, I generally start packing up the truck, grabbing all our accessories, the fan, whatnot, bags. get everyone ready and load it into the truck, and then we start chasing him and just follow him until he comes down and try to catch him.
Very cool. And you had mentioned you have grown up around Balloon Fiesta.
Oh yeah, yep.
What is that like?
I love it. It's the best thing in the world. The Balloon Fiesta community is just amazing. You really can't explain just how much love and passion these people have for this sport, and they love to share it with anyone that wants to ask questions and, you know, just be involved. So
How did you get into it?
my father actually started doing this just by half a chance. A balloon came through his work, and he started talking with another crew chief and Ty that owns a fire truck. And Ty was like, yeah, come on out. And my dad tried it and fell in love with it, and then he just brought me into it. My first balloon ride, my mom was actually pregnant with me.
Wow.
So it's kind of in my blood at this point.
No doubt. Wow, that is incredible. And so in regards to our book today, Oh, the Places You'll Go, what is it like from your experience compared to the book and the pictures of the little boy taking off in the hot air balloons?
I think that's a perfect book for hot air ballooning, because I mean that's really all it is. All the places you'll go. Ballooning's taking me across state lines, you know. You could take it all over the world. There's even a scene in there where, you know, he's in the balloon taking off and there's all the other balloons in the sky, and I think that perfectly like encaptures Balloon Fiesta, because not many places have that many balloons at once. You'll go to little rallies and they're, you know, 10, 12, which is still nice to see.
Sure.
But hundreds of balloons like that, it's so awesome.
Well, that is fantastic. Thank you so much for being here today.
Of course, thank you.
And that wraps up our time here at Balloon Fiesta. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of our upcoming adventures, and we'll see you soon.
Take care, guys.
Bye.
Want more book days? Well, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of our upcoming adventures. Here are some other options that you may enjoy.